What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out Green Goblin from the No Way Home wave. Let's see what we got going on. Let's check it out.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Now tuning into the Encountered Culture. As promised, today we're checking out Green Goblin. Let's see what we got going on. Alright, so you get a nice render of the figure on the front here. Marvel Legends series, Green Goblin. Sort of a drawing on the background here. Inspired by the movie, because that's certainly not Willem Dafoe in this caricature here. Alright, there you go. He's got the glider, Marvel Studios, Spiderman, No Way Home, some warnings, important information at the bottom. Flip it to this side. There is a drawing of the Green Goblin, the movie art, I suppose. Marvel Legends series down at the bottom. Flip it to this side, and here's what you get on the back. So you do have the Marvel Legends series, Green Goblin. Nice render of the figure. Here's what you get inside. So you do get the extra head. You get the hood, the goggles, the pumpkin bomb, the glider, that stand that we've seen a few times now to go with your glider, which is a nice addition for sure. There's your really important information down at the bottom. Some more on that side. Flip it to here on this side, and we get another render of the Willem Dafoe version of the figure. And on top, you do get your Spidey logo. Let's see what's in the box. Opening the box, this is what it comes out looking like. So it's not the open face that you've seen before. Also, he's not wrapped in any sort of that wax paper, those bags that you'd seen. He isn't in a plastic shell here, which makes me wonder if this was intended to be released under when they've gone back to the window packaging, right? So obviously the plastic's all in here. There might have been different intentions. It would have been really cool to get this with a window package. Maybe that was the intent. Maybe it wasn't, just happenstance. But a little disappointed to see that. It definitely would have been cool to have this in a window box. Fresh out of the box, here is your Green Goblin.
Hello, my dear.
Looking pretty good. So I've been able to see some pictures of this figure on Reddit, on Facebook groups, throughout the internet, on YouTube videos and such. So far, like, people are really loving this figure. It's definitely got a ton of detail right off the bat, just looking at it from afar. So I'm definitely excited to see how this is going to look in the collection once this is all over. But definitely looking forward to also taking a look at it right now with you guys. Go over it, see what we have here, and see what all the hubbub is about, if you will. All right, let's take a closer look. Getting in a little bit closer here, we can see what would amount to a pretty decent Willem Dafoe likeness in the face. Of course, we'll get a better look once we remove this hood and take off these goggles, but you can already see how it's shaping up. You do get a lot of detail throughout the figure painted on, so that's not always the case, but it is definitely nice when it's done. That green has a really nice sort of shine to it, very metallic looking, as it should be. So that definitely is a highlight for this figure so far. You get the belt under here, which is a separate piece, so that is a bonus as well. And then just some of these extra details along the sides. So certainly a lot to look forward to. Let's swap out the head. Let's check out some movements. All right, so I wanted to remove the purple cloth here and the hood, put this head on, see what that looked like. Presumably you could remove this belt too if that's something you're interested in. Not what I'm gonna do, so to each their own on that. But we'll take a little bit of look at the articulation here, and then I'll go back to the other head too, because I definitely want to see the Willem Dafoe likeness in full and kind of see some different options for the Green Goblin here. But did want to point out, if you do swap the head, you are going to get all of that skin tone in the neck there, so it doesn't fully cover. Even if I think this was back on, that would only hide a little bit. I'll have that, we'll do that combination as well, but just wanted to point that out. But keeping it with the head, so with this mask on, you can look down about that far, you can look up about that far. You do get your side to side all the way around if you need it. So not terrible. Again, on the lollipop like the Spiderman. So in my, like, I just feel like it limits the articulation, but I realize it does give probably a slightly better aesthetic to the neck area, but it does have its limitations. Coming over to the shoulder, so we're not on a butterfly or anything like that. You do get that much going up from the shoulder. Of course, you can go all the way around. You do have that cut at the upper bicep. You are double jointed and pinless at the elbow. Really nice work all throughout the arm, as I've said already, but just really nice detailing. You do get some pretty decent detailing there as well. That will, these are much softer plastic. It continues to be a thing. I really don't like this super soft plastic, but at least it's not super warped, so I will say that. You of course have your hinge at the wrist, but you will be a little bit limited depending on how you're planning on doing that, based on the weapon at the wrist here. Coming over to the torso, so you do have that ball up there. You get a nice range of motion as far as that's concerned. You have what looks like we should have something at the abdomen here, but we don't. Okay, so it looked like it was there. Maybe they had it hidden, but there's nothing there. So you only have the torso up here, no lower ab crunch. Coming down to the legs, so you do have two separate pieces here. You get a nice amount of kick out to the front. Not exactly a lot out to the side there, and pretty much nothing to the back. Of course, with that piece, you do have the cut there, and you can get it, just about all the way around. Double jointed pinless at the knees. Nothing at the upper calf, nothing at the lower calf. Coming down to the ankle, you have your hinge down there. You get all that there. A nice flat footing for your standing, so no problems. Coming at the back, so you don't get because there's no ab crunch, you don't get like a major gap. You do get some gap up in there with the abdomen swivel, but nothing too crazy. All right, so there you go. Moving over, or back I should say, to Willem Dafoe. So we'll pop that head out. Yeah, there you go. Comes out of the hood just like that. The goggles wrap all the way around, and then there you go. So a nice likeness for sure. So we'll pop that on there just so you can see that it's just a very nice likeness. I was looking at pictures of this online, and this has become like a thing with MCU Legends and the face scan technology, but it's depending on the angle that they catch it, these face sculpts can look very weird, right? They look super off. But if you zoom in, you get it at the right angle, it looks pretty remarkable. So they've done a nice job with the face scan here. Unfortunately for the selfie series, they never got that down, and that is no longer with us. Moving over to the glider, so we can take a look at that. So you do get a hinge down here, so you'll have some movement. This thing looks pretty nice. As far as gliders go, it's certainly the most elaborate one we have for all of our Green Goblins, and it makes sense, right? It's for the movie. It's definitely going to be a bit more detailed, so that looks cool. You can get it to move around in a few different ways. Everything seems pretty solid. It's got some nice green detailing in some areas you can see, so that really looks pretty cool. You do get this stand, so that'll port right in here, and of course you can pick whichever level you want it to be at, depending on the height that you're trying to get. And then you do have these for the feet, so they port in right here on each side, just like that. And then that'll make standing on the glider that much easier. Also, when you are putting Green Goblin on here, they did put pegs down here on the foot pedal areas, so that's definitely a nice little touch just to make sure he doesn't go anywhere. So once we get him on the glider, as I said, you do have the sort of feet holders. They'll port in, and then they have their little port on the backs as well, so you can get him in there. He stands so nicely on there and feels pretty secure, so that's good. You definitely will need to warm up the base stand down here just to get these balls into the porthole there. But quick little heat on there, and then boom, you're in. Of course, you get the movement on the glider, so that's definitely a cool aspect is that for that. Just looking nice. I think the purple, it all looks really good together. You still get that skin through the neck, but I don't think that's a huge deal. I think maybe that would bother some people, but if you, depending on how you're angling it, I can't see it from there, so I like that. You do get the pumpkin bomb as well, which fits so nicely into that hand, and it's not going anywhere like some of those other pumpkin bombs for your like comic Green Goblins and Hobgoblins that just fall all over the place. But I don't know, I'm liking it. I think the hype is real. It's a nice figure for Marvel Legends. I mean, is it a top figure across all lines? No, but we're here talking about Marvel Legends, so I think it's definitely worth the hype. A really cool figure. Definitely looking forward to how this is going to look in the display. For your comparisons, I'll have a couple here, but the first one, I just wanted to put him up against the Sandman Wave Green Goblin so you could get an idea of, how the MCU version looks compared to what amounts to a comic version of the Green Goblin. So definitely cool color choices here. It honors the sort of metallic looking green. The purples are very similar. So, it's definitely a nice translation. Of course, as far as original Green Goblin from the movies, you do have this version here. This is a great figure, a harder one, or at least became a harder one to get your hands on. So for those of you that do have it, or you paid up for it a year or two ago, you have that in your collection. Maybe you'll get this one, maybe you won't. Hit me in the comments for how you're feeling about that. Let's take a look at our new Green Goblin up against our Toby Spider-Man, so you can see what that looks like. And here we go. Here we have our Green Goblin up against our Spider-Man. Imagine if we had this level of figure back when that Spider-Man movie came out. Those figures, they hold up for what they are, but let's be honest, some of those joints look a little janky these days. These are nice figures for movie collectors, for Marvel Legends collectors. I really am happy that this was my era of Spider-Man originally. I'm a big fan of Tom Holland Spider-Man, but the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was my original era. So certainly excited to have the two of these in an action figure form. Really excited about how that's going to look in the display. Let me know what you guys think about these figures down in the comments below. Green Goblin should just be coming out. I was able to snag it today at Target. Actually, I've been hunting all week since people started finding them, but finally found one today. For those of you who are pre-ordering, I think some of those are starting to ship out as well. So a lot of you should start to get this in the mail, or if you're on the fence, hopefully this helps you make a decision about it. But you guys let me know what you think. Alright folks, so there you have it. There is your Marvel Legends series Green Goblin from Spider-Man No Way Home. Absolutely excited about this figure. I don't collect MCU stuff as much as the comic stuff. but when a really good one comes out, I am definitely on board, and this certainly meets the criteria for that. Really looking forward to that Doc Ock 2 once that starts to make its way out. I don't know. I'm just a fan of these No Way Home Legends so far. You know, the Spider-Man figures that I got. I have opinions about doing the 3-pack for the Spider-Man figures and then individual releases, but the figures themselves are really great likenesses of the movie characters, and as someone who has been collecting movie-related figures for a long time, these to me are just nice in that regard. Marvel Legends aside, just really good, solid movie action figures, right? So at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking for in the collection, just a figure that I like, and this hits the marks in so many areas. Really digging this figure, really looking forward to how it's going to look in the display. Love to hear your thoughts about it down in the comments below. Hit me with it, what you guys think about it. Really looking forward to how he looks, though. I know I've said it so many times, but I'm just excited about it. All right, so thanks for dropping in. Thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for hanging out, listening to all this chatter about Green Goblin. Don't forget to check out Instagram and whatnot. And most of all, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy. Counter-culture in your face. Fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you never see us again.